I would say that Carol's particular gift was his delicacy. And so you never felt his hands on you as an actor.
Meryl Streep is known for her incredible talent and grace on screen, earning her a place as one of Hollywood's most respected icons. From her standout role in The Devil Wears Prada to decades of acclaimed work, she's shared the screen with some of the biggest names in film. But behind the scenes, not every collaboration was pleasant. Streep has revealed she didn't exactly get along with everyone. Here are the top 6 actors she reportedly couldn't stand. Behind the scenes, Meryl Streep's tough on-set clashes with Dustin Hoffman and Kevin Kline. The work tension between Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman reached its most uncomfortable point during the making of Kramer vs. Kramer. Even though their acting chemistry on screen was praised, it hid a behind-the-scenes relationship full of problems. These problems came from very different ways of preparing for their roles and acting on set. "What did I do that's so terrible?" "You didn't. It's me, my fault. You just married the wrong person, that's all." "I can't, fine. Let's just go inside, please." "I can't. I tried." When Streep joined the movie, she met a well-known actor who liked using method acting and making things up in the moment. This clashed with her way of preparing every part of her performance carefully and with deep thought. Hoffman was known for testing limits during practice and filming, sometimes adding physical actions without warning his co-stars. This quickly caused problems with Streep, who preferred every moment to be planned out emotionally. People working on the set said they saw moments where Hoffman's sudden moves shocked Streep, making her lose focus and have to start over emotionally. "Meryl works like a very exact machine," said the cinematographer Nestor Almendros. "Every movement and line," she says, "is chosen carefully. But Dustin treats each scene like jazz. He goes in any direction." Their ways of acting were so different that director Robert Benton had to constantly step in to keep peace between two top-level actors who didn't agree on how to share the work. What made their tension more complex was that their real-life struggles actually helped the film. The arguments and emotional energy between them added truth to their characters' painful divorce. Even so, Streep never worked with Hoffman again. She later said working with him helped the movie, but she found the experience personally very difficult. The creative conflict between Meryl Streep and Kevin Kline during the making of Sophie's Choice was hidden well. Even though they looked in sync on screen, they had serious arguments behind the scenes about how to build their characters and how they should act in a serious movie. "Is this the brand you said you liked? I couldn't remember." When director Alan J. Pakula chose them for his intense Holocaust drama, he hoped that their theater experience would help them work well together. But instead, it became clear that they had very different ideas on how to act in a deep and emotional story. Streep did deep research into how Holocaust survivors thought and spoke, even learning Polish speech patterns. Kline, on the other hand, relied more on feeling and instinct to create his character. This caused problems right away during rehearsals. "Meryl had built Sophie from the ground up," said set designer George Jenkins. "Her accent, how she moved, everything came from months of studying history. But Kevin seemed to be figuring out his character Nathan as he went, using his gut." Their practice times became quiet battlefields where Streep's careful planning didn't mix well with Kline's more free-flowing style. Things got worse when Kline reportedly questioned why Streep worked so hard on her accent, saying her perfect speech might get in the way of showing emotion. Streep took this as proof that Kline didn't understand the kind of study needed to show the truth of a person from that time. What truly broke their working relationship was when Kline later said in interviews that Streep's acting method felt too academic, as if her planning got in the way of raw feelings. Streep never forgot this and kept a polite but distant attitude toward him during future meetings in the industry. Apart from these two actors Meryl Streep reportedly dislikes, who else might fall into this category? Stay tuned to find out. Streep's difficult collaborations. The partnership between Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin in It's Complicated revealed that even seasoned actors can struggle to work together when their acting styles are worlds apart. Director Nancy Meyers originally cast them, expecting that their strong theater backgrounds would help them form a natural creative bond. But instead of clicking, their working relationship quickly became a carefully managed struggle that risked throwing off the entire filming schedule. Streep followed a very thoughtful and precise method when it came to comedy. She believed that real humor should come from the emotional truth of the character. Baldwin, on the other hand, liked to play things loose. He leaned into improvisation, relied on spontaneous line delivery, and often used big physical gestures for laughs. Script supervisor Diane Dreyer summed it up well. Meryl approaches comedy like a surgeon. Each laugh must grow naturally from the character's truth. Alec sees funny scenes as his time to shine. During rehearsals, both actors had to constantly negotiate their differences, balancing Meryl's need for preparation with Alec's free-flowing style. The situation got worse when Baldwin reportedly changed his lines during filming without first telling Streep. This left her having to abandon her carefully planned emotional moments and adjust in the middle of takes. Crew members noticed her frustration, especially when she began asking for extra rehearsal time to get her performance back on track. What made the situation especially disappointing was that their individual talents had the potential to work beautifully together. But in the end, they couldn't find a rhythm. It became clear that even talented professionals can fail to connect when their creative instincts come from completely different places. A similar creative conflict unfolded between Meryl Streep and Jeremy Irons. Though both were classically trained, their shared background didn't bring them closer. It actually highlighted their deep disagreements about acting. When they were cast in emotionally intense roles that required a high level of collaboration, their early excitement quickly faded into quiet tension and mutual disappointment. Irons approached acting with a polished and refined style. He focused on vocal control and physical poise, treating characters as elegant creations to be shaped and displayed. Streep, however, believed in digging deeper. Her process involved detailed research and emotional exploration, searching for what made each character feel real and relatable. Dialect coach Tim Monick, who had worked with both actors separately, described the contrast. Jeremy treats characters like fine sculptures to be polished. Meryl sees them as archaeological digs that must be uncovered with care. Their disagreement ran deeper than just how to act. It extended to how they saw their responsibilities to the audience. The tension escalated further when Irons allegedly criticized Streep's use of accents, suggesting that her careful speech work showed off technical skill instead of serving the story. Streep saw that as a sign that Irons didn't understand how detail can support emotional truth, not distract from it. For film fans, their falling out was especially disheartening. Both had the kind of talent that could have led to unforgettable screen pairings. But their inability to respect each other's artistic processes showed that even at the highest levels of skill, collaboration can fall apart when philosophies and personalities are at odds. And the list continues to grow. Who else could possibly be among the actors Meryl Streep dislikes the most? Keep watching to find out. Meryl Streep's tense ties with Jack Nicholson and Katharine Hepburn. Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep starred as a bitterly feuding married couple in the 1986 film Heartburn. The movie was written by the late Nora Ephron and based on her stormy real-life marriage to journalist Carl Bernstein, which ended when he had an affair with Baroness Margaret J. Back then, people claimed that filming didn't go well. Rumors spread that Meryl had thrown Jack out of her hotel room and swore she'd never work with him again, due to his constant, unwanted, romantic advances. Meryl denied the story, yet, despite all the drama, the two ended up working together again just a year later on Ironweed in 1987. The new biography Nicholson, written by Mark Elliott, shares how Jack and Meryl first met while filming Heartburn in 1985. Elliott writes, "Jack met Streep on his very first day on set. Director Mike Nichols had purposely kept them apart before shooting to build some tension. According to Meryl, it was like meeting Mick Jagger or Bob Dylan. He was a big deal." But any tension quickly vanished. Before filming their first scene, Jack casually knocked on Meryl's trailer and asked to use her bathroom. She said yes. That simple moment broke the ice. Still, Elliott writes that during the making of Ironweed, a short-lived romance sparked between them. At the time, Jack was still in an off-and-on relationship with Angelica Houston, while also reportedly involved with actress Veronica Cartwright. In Ironweed, Jack and Meryl played a washed-up baseball player and his alcoholic partner. Elliott notes that as soon as filming began, rumors flew that something intimate was happening between the same Meryl, who had once supposedly said she'd never work with Jack again. People on set saw how close they had become. Jack found himself in a tricky situation, trying to keep his secret with Cartwright while getting cozy with Meryl. But during filming, no one was talking about the plot, the director, or even the scenery. Everyone was whispering about Jack and Meryl. His trailer often looked like it was shaking from the inside out. One source even told reporter Mitchell Fink of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, "Whatever is going on inside that trailer is getting out of hand. It's making people on the set uncomfortable." The story hit the press on April 22nd, Jack's 50th birthday. Despite all of that, Jack and Meryl stayed friends. Meryl, who's been happily married to sculptor Don Gummer for over 35 years and is a mother of 4, once named Jack during a cheeky game on Andy Cohen's show, Watch What Happens Live. When asked who she would sleep with, marry, or kill, she picked Robert Redford to marry, Jack Nicholson to sleep with, and surprisingly, Dustin Hoffman, her Kramer vs. Kramer co-star, to kill. Years earlier, in April 2004, Jack honored Meryl during her AFI Life Achievement Award tribute. He called her perfect and teased her about her acting skills, saying she transcends talent. He added, "To me, you are perfect, and I love you very much. God bless you, and God bless America." Yet not everyone in Hollywood admired Meryl. Katharine Hepburn, one of the most honored actresses in film history and known for speaking her mind, apparently had little patience for her. Hepburn, who won more Oscars than any other actor, helped pave the way for serious female performers like Meryl, but that didn't mean she liked her. Hollywood, as always, liked to compare rising stars to legends. And as Meryl climbed to the top with powerful roles and countless awards, many started comparing her to Hepburn. Both were known for being bold and talented. Although Meryl hasn't won more Oscars than Hepburn, she has received nearly twice the number of nominations. But according to A. Scott Berg's 2003 book, Kate Remembered, Hepburn wasn't impressed. While she praised Julia Roberts, Sally Field, John Travolta, and Harrison Ford, her opinion of Meryl was cold. Berg wrote, Meryl Streep was her least favorite modern actress. "Click, click, click," she said, describing the sound of Meryl's mind working too hard while acting. Hepburn died in June 2003. so we'll never know if she might have changed her mind after seeing Meryl's later work. But one thing's clear, at least for Hepburn, Meryl never earned her respect. Apart from the actors Meryl Streep has disliked, which actors or directors in the industry does she deeply admire? Keep watching to find out. Meryl Streep reflects on her favorite co-stars. Meryl Streep stars alongside Nicole Kidman in The Prom, directed by Ryan Murphy, which premiered in December 2020. In earlier interviews discussing Silkwood in 1983 and A Cry in the Dark in 1988, Streep opened up about the directors and actors she admired most throughout her career. She shared that the most enjoyable director she ever worked with was Mike Nichols. He was constantly cracking jokes and making everyone laugh. His sharp sense of humor was always present, even off-camera, which brought a fun, energetic atmosphere to the set of Silkwood. In contrast, Alan Pakula, who directed her in Sophie's Choice, 1982, had a completely different approach. He created a peaceful and sacred environment on set where actors felt protected and free from outside pressures. Robert Benton, who directed her in both Kramer vs. Kramer, 1979, and Still of the Night, 1982, was more like a trusted friend and close collaborator. They worked together in a very connected and supportive way on both films. Streep also spoke warmly about her experience working with Fred Schepisi on Plenty, 1985, and again in A Cry in the Dark, 1988. She said she hoped those wouldn't be their last collaborations. She appreciated that Schepisi gave her space to speak her mind, and sometimes even listened. That made working with him fun, though she admitted his long work hours were the only tough part. She recalled that Hector Babenco, who directed her in Ironweed, 1987, had an intense and expressive personality. He might shout, cry, or become emotional during filming. Because he showed such strong feelings himself, it gave her the freedom to focus solely on her performance. She admired his clear creative vision and felt safe knowing he had a strong idea of what he wanted the movie to be. That made it easier for her to relax and trust the process. As a child, Streep loved watching I Love Lucy and was especially fond of Lucille Ball. She also enjoyed Carole Lombard. Even before learning her name, she just knew that whenever Lombard was on screen, she made her smile. She looked up to Katharine Hepburn and Judy Holliday as well. During her time in drama school, Streep became deeply inspired by Robert De Niro. After watching Taxi Driver, she told herself, "That's the kind of actor I want to be when I grow up." So, it felt like a dream come true to work with him for the first time in The Deer Hunter, 1978. After that film, the two wanted to collaborate again, and they found the script for Falling in Love, 1984. It was a quiet, emotional story. She loved acting with De Niro because he pays attention to every little detail and stays completely focused on the moment. He can't stand anything fake and will keep filming until a scene feels totally real. Working with him was challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. Outside of her work, Streep shared a funny and memorable personal story. She said it's a blessing to have someone like Gwyneth Paltrow as a neighbor. When her own oven stopped working on Thanksgiving, she had to rely on Paltrow's kitchen. Luckily, both stars live in the same building in Tribeca, so help was nearby. "I had a Thanksgiving disaster because my oven wouldn't work," Streep explained on an episode of Live with Kelly and Michael. "I really hate my oven, and there's no worse time to hate it than Thanksgiving, when it refuses to cook the turkey." "She has the best oven I've ever seen," Streep admitted. She lives in a truly stunning apartment. Unfortunately, the two didn't meet in person that day since Paltrow and her family were away for the holiday. "I emailed her. They weren't home," Streep said. The doorman was kind enough to let Meryl and one of her daughters, who was thrilled to see the inside of the beautiful apartment, go in and use the kitchen. Streep eventually cooked her turkey at home, though it took 11 long hours. However, she prepared all the side dishes using Paltrow's oven. "I made all the sides in her oven," Streep told Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan. "The sides turned out fantastic." Beyond all that, how did Meryl Streep first break into the industry? A world filled with countless actors that eventually shaped her strong opinions about those she disliked the most. Stay tuned to find out. Meryl Streep's journey to stardom. Meryl Streep was born Mary Louise Streep on June 26, 1949, in Summit, New Jersey. She grew up in a warm and creative household, where she was encouraged to explore her artistic side. From a young age, she showed a passion for performing. As a teenager, she trained in opera singing and gradually discovered her deep love for acting during her high school years. After graduating, she attended Vassar College to study drama, and later advanced her skills at the prestigious Yale School of Drama. While at Yale, Streep's remarkable talent became impossible to ignore. She embraced a wide range of roles, both comedic and dramatic, and proved she could handle almost any part with ease. Once she completed her studies, she moved to New York City to begin her professional acting journey in the theater scene. Her early stage performances earned her growing respect as a serious and skilled actress, building the foundation for her future success in film. Streep's film career took off in the 1970s, and she quickly gained attention for her emotional depth and natural presence on screen. Her first major film role was in Julia, 1977, but it was her performance in The Deer Hunter, 1978, that made Hollywood take notice. In the film, she played Linda, a woman facing the emotional toll of the Vietnam War. Her quiet yet deeply moving performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Her breakout moment came in 1979 with Kramer vs. Kramer, where she starred alongside Dustin Hoffman. Streep portrayed Joanna Kramer, a mother who walks away from her marriage and later returns to fight for custody of her child. Her portrayal was layered and emotionally complex, raising questions about motherhood, independence, and sacrifice. The performance won her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress and firmly established her as one of the industry's rising stars. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Streep continued to prove her range and dedication with a series of celebrated performances. One of her most unforgettable roles came in 1982 with Sophie's Choice. She portrayed Sophie Zawistowski, a Polish Holocaust survivor haunted by her past. Her performance stunned audiences and critics alike, especially for her perfect Polish accent and the raw emotion she brought to the role. The film earned her a second Oscar, this time for Best Actress, and is still considered one of the greatest performances in cinematic history. Streep's ability to completely transform into her characters was also clear in films like Out of Africa, 1985, where she played Danish writer Karen Blixen, and The Bridges of Madison County, 1995, where she portrayed an Italian woman living a quiet life in Iowa. Whether she was playing real-life figures, literary heroines, or everyday women, Streep approached each role with care, empathy, and authenticity that deeply resonated with audiences. Though she was widely respected for her dramatic roles, the 2000s opened a fresh chapter in her career. She began embracing roles that were lighter and more playful, while never losing the depth that defined her work. In 2006, she dazzled audiences as the icy and commanding fashion editor Miranda Priestley in The Devil Wears Prada. Her performance was both chilling and captivating, and it quickly became one of her most iconic characters. Then in 2008, she took a joyful turn in Mamma Mia, a musical inspired by ABBA's greatest hits, Streep starred as Donna Sheridan, bringing energy, charm, and her singing talents to the screen. Her performance was heartfelt and fun, winning over both critics and fans, and showing again that she could light up the screen in any genre. One of Streep's most admired skills is her incredible command of accents and dialects. Whether it was the flawless Polish accent in Sophie's Choice or the sharp British tones in The Iron Lady, 2011, where she portrayed former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, her attention to detail stood out. Her deep commitment to getting every sound and gesture right helped her disappear into her characters and made her performances feel truly lived in. In The Iron Lady, Streep's layered portrayal of Thatcher earned her yet another Oscar for Best Actress. This honor added to her long list of awards and reminded audiences that few actors could bring real-life figures to the screen with such insight, dignity, and emotional strength. Beyond her celebrated career, has Meryl Streep explored romantic relationships, or has her life remained deeply rooted in her devotion to the film industry? Stay tuned to find out. Meryl Streep's unexpected romance with Martin Short. One of Hollywood's most unexpected romances may be blossoming between longtime friends Meryl Streep and Martin Short. The two veteran actors, who have known each other for many years, recently captured attention after starring together in Season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. While their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, few realized their close friendship had quietly deepened into a genuine romantic connection. Sources speaking to Page 6 reveal that Streep and Short have been dating quietly for well over a year now. Those close to the couple admit the relationship took both by surprise and was completely unforeseen. Meryl couldn't help but fall for Martin, shared an insider. He's kind-hearted, always makes her laugh, and brings a wonderful positive energy. She truly enjoys his company. Neither Streep, 75, nor Short, 74, were actively seeking love, but their strong bond naturally evolved into something more meaningful. Their relationship has been warmly embraced by those closest to them. Friends and family, including their children, wholeheartedly support their relationship and think they make a perfect pair, added the source. Before this chapter with Short, Streep had two significant relationships that shaped her life. She first dated actor John Cazale, renowned for his role in The Godfather, 1972, standing by him during his battle with lung cancer until his death in 1978. Later, she married sculptor Don Gummer, with whom she shared nearly 4 decades of marriage before they separated in 2017. Similarly, Short had a long, loving marriage with Nancy Dolman, who passed away from ovarian cancer in 2010. Meryl and Martin have found a deep connection through the shared experience of losing their former partners, the insider explained. However, when it comes to their future plans, marriage isn't on their minds. Meryl is still legally married to Don, but even if she were not, neither she nor Martin is interested in tying the knot again. They're happy simply enjoying their relationship as it is, the source noted. Despite their years of friendship and many mutual connections, neither had previously considered romance between them. They moved in the same social circles for years, but never saw each other that way, until now, the source concluded. Amid all the personal and professional chapters of Meryl Streep's life, what truly stands out as her most remarkable achievement or defining quality? Stay tuned to find out. Meryl Streep's advocacy through art and excellence. In 2024, Meryl Streep was honored with the prestigious AFI Life Achievement Award, presented by the Board of Directors of the American Film Institute. Later, in 2011, she received the Kennedy Center Honors, introduced by Tracy Ullman, with heartfelt speeches delivered by 2009 honoree Robert De Niro and 2003 honoree Mike Nichols. Other notable stars who paid tribute to Streep included Kevin Kline, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, and Anne Hathaway. The celebration concluded with the entire cast performing She's My Pal, a playful rendition of He's My Pal from the film Ironweed. In November 2014, President Barack Obama awarded Streep the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. The official citation praised her as one of the most famous and respected actors in history. It recognized her exceptional talent for portraying a wide variety of roles and captivating audiences by bringing characters to life that reflect the full range of human experience. In January 2017, Viola Davis presented Streep with the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes. Davis expressed, "You make me proud to be an artist." In her acceptance speech, Streep quoted the late Carrie Fisher, encouraging everyone to take your broken heart and make it into art. Vanity Fair remarked, "It's difficult to imagine a time before Meryl Streep was widely regarded as the greatest living actress." Emma Brox of The Guardian observed that although Streep is one of the most famous actresses in the world, it remains strangely hard to picture Streep, as she has consistently worked to present herself as an actor grounded in everyday life. Despite her tremendous success, Streep has always remained humble about her craft and accomplishments. She admits that she does not follow a single acting method and realized early in her career that she cannot fully explain her process. In 1987, she reflected, "I have a few things I learned from different teachers, but nothing I can pack into a suitcase and open up saying, 'Which one would you like?' Nothing I can depend on, which makes it more risky. But that risk is what makes it more exciting." She has also stated that her ideal director is one who grants her full artistic freedom, allowing her to improvise and learn from mistakes along the way. Karina Longworth describes Meryl Streep's acting style as highly external, meaning Streep pays close attention to how her characters move, speak, and carry themselves. She calls her chameleonic because of her remarkable ability to fully disappear into each role, becoming the character rather than simply portraying them. In early films like Manhattan and Kramer vs. Kramer, Streep was often compared to Diane Keaton and Jill Clayburgh, largely because the women she portrayed were emotionally distant and not immediately likable. Streep herself has said she's naturally drawn to playing women who are complex, flawed, and difficult to empathize with. Although many view her as a technical actress, Streep insists her process begins with a deep love for reading the script. She comes to set fully prepared and prefers not to waste time on early takes while others are still getting into rhythm or adjusting lights. She wants to dive straight into the work. Director Mike Nichols, who collaborated with her on Silkwood, Heartburn, Postcards from the Edge, and Angels in America, spoke highly of Streep's ability to transform herself. He noted that she doesn't just act the part, she becomes it so completely that fellow actors instinctively start responding to her as if she were the character herself. Nichols even said that working with Streep feels like falling in love. There's a certain magic and mystery to it. He believed her presence elevated everyone around her, claiming that just watching her could make another actor perform 1,000% better. Do you think the actors Meryl Streep reportedly dislikes truly deserve to be on that list? Or could there be more to the story than we know? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.